and welcome to the launch of a brand new series here at Christ Church Cathedral in Montreal. Whether you're here as an experienced church musician, novice singer, or perhaps a curious parishioner, we hope that these videos will enrich your musical and spiritual lives.
Since the beginning of the Church, Christians around the world have joined in communal song, an act of giving praise to the Creator that is fitting and holy. References to corporate song abound in the Scriptures, teaching us that our voices, no matter the quality, are gifts to share, and we use them in prayer not only with our friends and family on earth, but our friends and family above, the heavenly choir that Isaiah records as singing an unceasing hymn of praise. Rather than being a crash course in the history of Christian hymnody, this series will be a select survey of musical styles and traditions that humans have sung over the centuries. Like all music, a hymn is the product of its creator's time and place in history. Our modern lenses often blind us from imagining the social or political climate Christians were in when they first sang "O God, our help in ages past," or "What a friend we have in Jesus." In the coming weeks and months, I will unpack relevant context behind many of the songs you sing every Sunday, and hopefully you'll come to appreciate the long history of poets, composers, and theologians that are now woven into the fabric of Western Christianity.
Of course, corporate music making is not limited to spiritual life. Think of that unspoken excitement from a crowd at a pep rally, at a sports game, or at a concert. When we sing or chant in these contexts, it's not strange, but it's natural and it's welcomed. Imagine how weird it would be if at your birthday party, everybody stood up and said the words of the happy birthday song, or everybody at a rally said the words of their national anthem. By singing, we elevate the texts and we show that these words, as well as this very act, are important. Thus, music is an outward sign of inward feeling, causing St. Augustine to pen those famous words, "He who sings, prays twice."
So let's dissect a hymn and see how one is put together. It's simply a lyrical poem with a particular structure or meter, a pattern of strong and weak syllables. Notice the lilt in my voice as I read the first stanza of a familiar favorite. O God, our help in ages past, our hope for years to come, our shelter from the stormy blast, and our eternal home. Notice the alternation of a strong and weak syllable, what's called an iambic foot, as well as a clear rhyme scheme. Also note that the first and third line have a different syllable count than the second and fourth. We call this meter 8-6-8-6. This tells us that there are 4 lines in each stanza alternating 8 and 6 syllables. It's so commonplace that we refer to it as common meter, or CM for short. Of course, not all hymns have the same metrical pattern. Here are a few typical meters you probably know. D means double, which in the case of High Fridal or Alleluia Sing to Jesus, there are 8 lines that alternate 8 and 7 syllables. Irregular meters do not follow any kind of pattern, resulting in many freely composed tunes that we sing, like O Come All Ye Faithful. You might not notice it, but your hymnal bears all this information. At the bottom of the page, you'll find the writer of the text, the composer of the music, the tune name, the type of meter, as well as any copyright information. Depending on the hymnal, songs are categorized according to their thematic content or where they fall in the liturgical year. Like all music, hymn tunes are the product of a composer, and they follow the same patterns of strong and weak. The ends of each line have some kind of punctuation or a question that requires an answer, while the last line of each stanza gives a sense of closure. The composer is often not the writer of the text. For instance, Watt's text, O God, our help in ages past, is sung to the tune of his contemporary, the English composer William Croft. A survey of your hymnal will show that hymn tunes have their own unique name, named after a person, a place, or even a psalm once associated with it. Knowledge of a meter helps us pair a given text with a given piece of music. The tune must accommodate the same syllable patterns as its text, or else it doesn't make sense. Of course, we've come to associate specific texts with specific tunes. Notice what happens if we switch the words between these tunes. away in a manger, no crib for a bed. Or, immortal, invisible, God only wise. Though the words fit, the music doesn't adequately portray or amplify the moods of the texts, and this is exactly what the music has to do. Whether Gregorian chants, a Lutheran chorale, 19th century hymn, or modern folk song, hymns help us sing our faith. And in fact, many of us learn the core beliefs of Christianity in Sunday school songs, and it is through music that we reaffirm these beliefs every week. Hymns have the power to uplift us to nobler thoughts and soothe us into prayer. So hopefully this series will teach you more about sacred music and the impact of countless composers and poets. Join us as we explore the treasury of Christian song across the centuries.